Enzo Fernandez has a 120 million euro release. Chelsea are willing to pay 130 million pounds, and I will explain why that is the case. On top of that, Joao Felix, the clarity is coming out. We're starting to understand why he's being linked to Chelsea, why there are 5 Premier League clubs interested in him, but no one's willing to jump the plunge. On top of that, we understand Reece James is going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. 3 replacements have been named, and Chelsea are finally going to do the inevitable. They're finally going to acquire a defender that can replace Reece when he's going to get injured. We already know he's going to get injured, so it's about time that we act on it. It's been 5 seasons of Reece James injuries, yet we haven't done anything. You know the deal. We know what we're going to talk about. Let's do it. Alright, so it's very simple right now, right? Before we get into the 3 major stories, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. 2022 has been a successful year, and if we get to 23,000 subscribers, we're ahead of the curve because we were only aiming for 20,000 at the end of this year. So do me a massive favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 500 likes, and in the comments below, let me know if you want Enzo Fernandez for 130 million euros, because for me, that's an astronomical fee. It's crazy. It's beyond the consent. And on top of that, in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there. I'm on holiday. You guys get to see what I'm doing in my everyday life, and more importantly, if you hit me up in a DM with a question about football, 9 out of 10 times I will be replying. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the Enzo Fernandez move, and this move is starting to heat up. This move right now is a move that has been escalated really quickly, and I don't know whether this is agent driven or whether this is primarily player driven or whether these clubs are actually interested. So 48 hours ago, Manchester United and Liverpool were in pole position to sign Enzo Fernandez. The move was being articulated that it's going to be escalating forward predominantly in the summer, but a few sources were coming out around about 48 hours ago from Portugal, from Spain, from England, saying Manchester United were willing to pay the fee, but it's too high at the same time. They're being indifferent about it. Liverpool were exploring the possibility. No one was concretely actually going after this player. But all of a sudden now, we're getting reports from Portugal. Chelsea are willing to match the fee. Chelsea have even said that they'll go above the release clause of 120 million euros to 130 million euros, which is 105 million pounds. They're willing to go above it. They're willing to pay the money, and they're willing to acquire the services of Enzo Fernandez. A lot of you are going to ask, why are they willing to pay more money than they need to sign this player? Well, it's very simple in reality when you think about it, right? They did this with Nkunku, Christopher Nkunku. They paid more than the release clause was asking. It's because when it's a release clause is activated, you end up paying a big proportion of the money, maybe majority of it up front. And it's bad for your book, it's bad for your financials, it's bad for accounting purposes, and it's bad for financial fair play. That's the simplest way I can put it. It's bad because all of a sudden you have to pay all the money in one go. If you pay more money, you get to negotiate with a club, and all of a sudden the club accepts the fee, and it's not the trigger that's going through. The club will essentially allow you to pay it in slower increments. And this is what Ben Jacobs is saying. Chelsea are very interested in the player. No bid has been placed yet, but it's a bid that is being seriously considered by Chelsea. Chelsea are seriously considering paying 105 million pounds. On top of that, Benfica have already started to look for replacement. Benfica's stance is simple. They want to keep the player till the summer, and in 5 months' time, they want to renegotiate with the player whether he wants to leave or stay. Enzo Fernandez's camp is very simple. They are not forcing a move out. So if any move occurs, it's going to be because one of the clubs in Chelsea, Manchester United, and Liverpool are rigorously going to get him. In the summer, Bellingham is a major factor for Real Madrid. If they can't get Bellingham, they're going to go after Enzo. So if Chelsea want to get a deal done and they want to be proficient and quick, I think it's the right time is now. And if they don't do it, I don't want to see tears in the summer. Personally, this move is a stupidly rushed move in my opinion. Reason being is, I think Enzo Fernandez is a very good player. He's welcome in my team at any time. But I asked the question, why were we not looking at Enzo Fernandez 5 months ago? Why is it when he joined them for 16 million euros or whatever it was, we were not interested, and all of a sudden, now we are willing to pay nearly 9 times the value that they purchased him for? Like, it's ridiculous. Something needs to be looked at in our scouting system, because this is... On top of that, the Joao Felix deal is actually heating up, and the Joao Felix deal is one that has become very, very interesting. And as time goes on, we're starting to see that this is drama being driven the camp of the player. It's not the clubs that are rigorously chasing him. The clubs apparently all respect that the talent of the player is there. But no one is willing to pay the crazy evaluation that Atletico have on their head top. If you think about it, they want 135 to 140 million. This player is not worth that much money at this moment in time. He hasn't done anything to prove it. He hasn't got the CV to articulate that kind of move. And if anything, he's purely living off of that Golden Boy award and the hype that is generated around his name. Because Joao Felix at this moment in time is not a 130 million pound footballer. So what do we know? We know that this player has been offered to Aston Villa, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal. We know that for a fact. We know that Arsenal aren't interested because Arteta believes they should go in another direction. Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal are not, Chelsea are not willing to pay the demands that the club is making. Atletico's demands are too steep, they're too big, they're not willing to pay the evaluation as of present day. This can change in the near future, this could change while I'm even recording, this could change while I'm releasing. And finally, Aston Villa were willing to pay a fee. However, and this is a massive however, the player doesn't want to go there. It's as simple as this. The player's not interested, the player doesn't want to go there, he doesn't believe the club is of a caliber that excites him nor attracts him to the club. What is very evident, and this is what Ben Jacobs is referring, all four clubs, major clubs, are interested in the simplest form of this move. You take him on a loan with an option to buy for 86 million pounds. There is no obligation. No club wants to have the obligation to have to sign him. This is damning on the career of Joao Felix. However, this is something that I'm not surprised because the kid has a ton of talent. The kid has all the enthusiasm around him. He has all the star power. He has all of the technical ability. It's about getting all of those pieces together to enable him to become an integral asset that he. And finally, now we need to talk about Reece James, and this is a difficult topic because a lot of drama occurred yesterday after Reece James getting injured. I had a little bit of an outburst because I'm really frustrated with the fact that Reece is consistently injured. It's been 5 seasons of Reece getting injured, so there is a boiling point for everybody, right? And once you hit that boiling point, it's very difficult to go back on it. So what do we need to talk about? And this is very interesting. Reece James is out for 3 to 4 weeks minimum. Chelsea have come out and said this, that he's going to be up to a month. Reports have come out and said it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks of him being on the injury table, and after that it's going to be potentially the 5 to 6 as a totality, so literally 1 or 2 weeks more to get him up and ready, fit to go, play 90 minutes, maybe make the Champions League tie. Okay, so that's good news because it's not as bad as it came across, but the drama around it was crazy. Reece has come out and literally said this was the worst year of his life, which we believe, which we understand, which we respect. But what made matters worse for me personally was his coaching staff coming out and saying, I can't talk, I have to bite my tongue. Basically, he put that on his story. And for me, that tells me, number one, either Reece was actively forcing this to get back fit quicker than needed, and because he wanted to get fit for the World Cup, or 2, Chelsea rushed him back. Because I don't see that individual biting his tongue otherwise. Because realistically speaking, the individual works for Reece James. The individual does not care about Chelsea Football Club. He cares about the individual that pays him, and that's Reece James. And Reece James wanted to make the World Cup squad. We know that. We also know that Reece James was actively pursuing to be back and playing for Chelsea because he just doesn't want to miss any more time. This kid is a supreme talent. But now he's out for 4 to 5 weeks, maybe even 6. So this altogether is going to impact Chelsea once again. What's going to happen? Well, Chelsea have enabled 3 players that they're going to be looking, and they're all at the top of the list. There are rumours of Denzel Dumfries, but apparently he's too expensive and Chelsea will not be pursuing it. But that is a good thing. We do not need Denzel Dumfries. Number 2, the 3 players that are going to be linked with Chelsea are Malo from Lyon, the right back, the young French one. He is highly touted, very attacking. I haven't seen much of him. I've literally watched a few clips here and there. There's a guy called Parotto from, I think, Sporting Lisbon. He's a right back again. I've not seen anything of him, and literally, I would literally be making it up if I was sitting here and telling you guys, oh yeah, we need to go get him. He's someone that I'm going to be asking about. I'm in Portugal right now. My girl's cousin, crazy about football, so he will be telling me a lot about this player, and I will come back with some first-hand information or from a sporting fan of what he believes about the player. And finally, this is the biggest one. Now, we're linked with Jokanovic, and Jokanovic is the right back for Celtic, the right back that played against against Vinicius in the World Cup, and actually did very well. So it's something that we need to explore. It's something that we need to do, and we will see what happens, because in the long run, we need to develop these players and bring him into the squad. Because at this moment in time, Reece James cannot be depended on, and he is injury prone. There is no other way to put it. He is a player that consistently gets injured. You cannot count on him. And at the end of the day, no matter how good he is, how world class he is, if he ain't fit, there's no point of having him, because he's as useful to the team as I am when he's like that. Unless he's tapping players up and trying to bring him not to play with him because he's consistently injured. So hopefully he recovers. He's one of my favourite players at this club. I absolutely adore him. I think he is what a Chelsea player should be, in the sense that quality, personality, catcher on the pitch. So I want him to be fit. I want him to be ready for Chelsea, and long may it continue. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Sorry if I'm a little bit quieter than I am normally. Sorry if my personality is not extravagant. I am, at this moment in time, not in my studio. I'm not in my safe haven. I'm not in my comfort zone where I can explore my full personality, as you guys already know. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts.